Have you ever felt like being squeezed like a lemon without knowing the reason for it? If yes, then this video is for you. Today I'm gonna talk about 4 energy thieves that are slowly but insidiously and consistently stealing your energy. I already have the first part of this video where I discuss first 4 mental habits, so you can check it out by following the links that I'll leave below. My name is Alina, and on my channel I'm sharing my journey towards finding a way of living balanced, joyful and fulfilled life. Also, I share my discoveries in the topics that I deeply care about, such as human psychology, emotional mastery, self-development and overall well-being. So if the idea of getting better through self-exploration and connection with other people and their perspectives is close to you, I invite you to courageously hit the subscribe button and become a part of my journey. Let's go! The first thing that I want to mention is excessive rumination. Probably you caught yourself in a situation when some thoughts were endlessly repeating in your head and it felt like circling around the same room and being unable to find the exit. Perhaps it could happen when you found yourself in a situation for which you couldn't find the solution, or maybe you just didn't have the clear answer for why it happened, or why it happened the way it actually did. Excessive rumination is when you are circling around the same thoughts and feel like you cannot exit the state. You cannot stop thinking about some particular event or person or situation. It could happen simply because you've been nervous or because you couldn't find the answers to your questions. And in order to get those answers, you actually just need time or see how it will unfold. Excessive rumination is usually accompanied by the feeling of helplessness. For instance, I don't have very good relationships with my mom, and sometimes I feel like I'd like to help her. I'd like her to feel good about her life, but obviously it's not within my control or power to do some specific actions. I can only share my observations and do everything possible, but if she's not ready to do so, I won't be able to help her. I caught myself being stuck in excessive ruminations after talking to her, thinking about why she's the way she is, and I realized that it wasn't helpful for me. Now I'll share a few solutions to this draining mental habit that actually helped me overcome it. The first solution that I propose is to schedule worry time. And whenever you catch yourself obsessing over some particular thing, situation, whatever it is, tell yourself, I'm gonna think about it in my worry time. Every day allocate some 10 to 15 minutes for this worry time. This is a time when you are allowed to let all the thoughts in, to feel them, to notice them, and then boom. But outside of that time, whenever undesirable thought is knocking at your door, you're saying, no, I'm gonna think about it in my worry time. In this way, you'll be able to find a compromise with your brain because it will understand, okay, it's not like you're denying me the pleasure of obsessing over this. You're just postponing it for later. This can be really very helpful. The second strategy for dealing with this habit would be to shift your focus towards some activities that is very cognitively demanding, where all of your attention is required. By doing that, you're just leaving yourself no chance to have any energy, any mental space left for this excessive rumination running in the background. The same way the rumination requires a lot of your attention and care, some other activity as reading, working hard on some project can also require your full attention, where there will be no time and space left for that. However, sometimes your rumination can be about some urgent matter, some urgent thing, urgent event that is coming soon and you cannot really wait right now, and you need to return yourself back to your normal state. In this case, I'll suggest you a short meditation, the main purpose of which will be observing your thought, and then, after observing it, shifting your focus towards bodily sensations that it causes. It's weird, but sometimes exactly what perpetuates this excessive rumination and keeps it going and stealing our energy away is just the strength with which we try to push it away. And when we allow it to be, it can suddenly fade. When we just name the feelings the way they are and allow them to be and give them space inside of us, not identify with them fully and understand that we are not our feelings, we are not our thoughts. This particular situation or feeling is only a part of our overall panoramic picture of life, and it's not gonna take away everything because we've got this. Because you are the person who sits as a driver's seat and chooses the direction in which your life will go. The second mental habit that is definitely more than worth mentioning is the productivity trap. which actually causes another problem, the burdensome feeling of guilt over resting. This is a very familiar story for me, as for my whole life I've been an excellent student, a girl who went places, won competitions, etc. And I've been so loaded with normal school, musical school, some additional extracurricular activities that whenever I was resting, I felt super guilty. Even when I grew up, I had this constant internal feeling like I mustn't rest, like it's something bad, like it means that you are lazy and unproductive. My mind just couldn't be still. And I found myself scrolling through social media or getting sick suddenly just because I didn't listen to the signals of my body when it said stop. Now my mental and physical well-being are my top priorities, and although I might still struggle with resting at times, but I found really few good ways which helped me to decrease my anxiety and guilt over resting. First of all, I redefined my term of productivity. What does it mean to be productive? Resting is productive. Reading fiction book is productive for developing your creativity. Going to massage is productive for your physical well-being. I started exploring what does productivity really mean to me and where does it come from? Because when we come to this world as children, we are able to easily rest, to easily play, to easily go into so many states that are already set up in our internal spectrum of colors through which we can feel this world. It's crucial to understand where does your image of productivity come from. Mine obviously came from beliefs that my parents passed on to me. No matter at which age or stage of life you are right now, I just want to tell you that it's never too late to return yourself this inherent ability to be free, to rest, to be playful, to be in so many different states. It's amazing. I know it might not be easy, but I just want to remind you that you do not need to deserve rest, to do something good or ultra productive in order to be able to allow yourself to be slow and peaceful and in a mode where you can enjoy life, where you can see all the beautiful intricacies and details of it. To sum up, in order to exit the productivity trap, you need to redefine your term of productivity. Another thing that was helpful for me is writing down the list of resting activities and scheduling the rest time every day. And whenever I have it in my schedule, I go to my resting list, to the activities that make me feel like I'm resting, that make me feel really good and refreshed and reinvigorate my energy. And I pick one activity and do it. In this case, I feel like I can negotiate with my brain and really communicate with myself, telling that this is necessary. Sometimes you need to appeal to your internal adult and really force yourself to rest by talking to yourself about the consequences that will follow if you don't. Reminding yourself of the situations that actually didn't end up so good because you didn't listen to yourself in time. And the third strategy of dealing with this mental habit that is actually very helpful, not only in this area, is practicing mental repetition. Whenever you have free time, you allocate 5-10 minutes and you visualize how you will act. The next time you feel tired, exhausted, what is your desirable scenario in the situation? In this way, you'll be strengthening your belief that you actually can do so. Research shows that our brain doesn't know the difference between the events that we actually live through and events that we just visualize and imagine in our head, which makes visualization a powerful practice for different kinds of situations. My hands are all dirty in the earth because I'm sitting who knows where. There are a lot of things I can do in order to shoot a good video. The third frequently unrecognized mental habit is projecting unacknowledged traits onto other people. Probably you'll be able to relate to this. Whenever you meet some person that stirs deep irritation and anger within you that causes very strong bodily sensations, like almost a visceral feeling, usually it's very convenient to think that it's because this person is really annoying, this person is really horrible, and but actually frequently the case is that it's tied to our identity, to who we are, and to the suppression of some of those qualities in ourselves. One of the situations could be some person is speaking up on the stage and suddenly you feel like, oh, this person is showing off so much. For some reason, it annoys me and I don't even know why, because there is nothing that this person says that is objectively bad, but somehow I've got this feeling. Usually the reason for that is because you have an unrecognized trait inside you that you want to express but suppress because of some societal norms, because of what your parents taught you, like you need to be quiet, you gotta act polite, you gotta be nice to people. Frequently we tend to avoid those feelings or to quickly push it off onto another person. It's just about them, it's nothing about me, but it's actually opposite of helpful. I know it might be painful, but the most helpful solution here would be to dive into that emotions and ask yourself, is it it? Is it really just about this person? Or is there something that I've been neglecting, something that I've been skipping and didn't want to look at because it's just difficult to face? Usually you might unearth a lot of internal gems coming out of that. Yes, in the moment it might feel like you are uncovering some vulnerability, some not desirable part of you, but actually in the long run it makes you stronger, it makes you more self-aware, which allows you to see your full intrinsic landscape and to understand it in more details, thus being able to control your emotional states. So the solution here is to shift your focus from that person to how it might relate to you, why it evokes such a strong feeling, and what can you do about it. In addition to being very useful self-exploration practice, it will help you channel your energy and not make it destructive, neither for yourself nor for other people and environment, creating a better world in which there is more trust and safety. The last habit that I want to mention today is tying yourself too tightly to your identity. It might seem like, what's the problem? Yes, I have the identity, it's normal to have strong opinions, but actually it can prevent you from fulfilling your potential, because when you are tied to some specific qualification or quality, you might feel like you cannot go outside of it, even when you want. As I've mentioned before, when we come to this world as children, we have this unrestrained energy with which we are able to create a lot of things, with which we are able to paint, to dream freely, to put big goals, to be funny and smart and imaginative. And actually, I think that's why a lot of people love children, because it reminds us of whom we used to be and of how we used to think. But why not to return ourselves such power through very simple practices that I'm about to mention? The first practice for dealing with this habit is quite simple. Imagine that it's your first day on earth and you are flickering your eyes open and seeing everything for the first time. You don't know what this is. Yeah, this is a tree, the thought came to my mind. But I can imagine that I don't know what it is. Maybe it's orange. And you can find yourself laughing like me right now, but it's actually very powerful because some questions might be born in your head that would otherwise never appear. And you might even open up some creative part of you that you didn't know was there. Closing your eyes and detaching yourself from whatever baggage you are bringing in to this moment from your past or from some future that didn't happen yet will set you free. If you do this often enough and don't do the actions that will actually diminish the effect of this practice, I promise you'll see a profound difference in how you think and view this world and how other people therefore treat you. And the second practice, which would be more practical, as our brain tends to question us on abstract concepts like this child practice that I just mentioned, is break the script. Jump out of your identity from time to time. Do the identity experiment, and you can even write it down so you have the confirmation that you've done it and that you don't need to be tied to any specific title, to any specific statement. For instance, if you have the feeling that you are more into math and you are not creative, go to creative workshop, create something, go out of your comfort zone. If you feel like you are very creative and you are definitely not into logic stuff and not into math, go somewhere where you'll be exposed to that, where you'll try to explore that part of you. If you feel like you are not into sports, pick the sport activity that causes the least friction for you to do and go into that. You don't need to exhaust yourself or do it for a very long time. Do it to the extent to which you're ready, but you'll see how it liberates you and how you overall have less fear about changing the profession, about moving to another place, about putting a big goal and reaching for it. Your timidness and fearfulness will just start fading away. I hope this video was helpful to you and gave you some new ideas or planted some seeds that one day will grow into a beautiful flower that will be sparkling with colors that you never knew existed in you. In case if you liked it, don't be stingy, hit the subscribe button and like, notifying me that I'm making the difference in this world. Write in the comments which topics you'd like me to make a research on or talk about more, and I'll definitely pay attention to it. See you in the next videos!